Hello gorgeous souls, how are you doing? I hope you're well. So today on the Soul Wealth Show, I thought I would talk about signs that you might be needing a soul detox. And I'm so excited to talk about this because really I think the alcohol or sugar freedom journey, whatever the thing is that we're really wanting to release, the habits that we're wanting to break, to really step into the new identity, the true version of ourselves that we really want to be, and even who that is, it takes needing a kind of a soul detox to be able to start releasing things that just no longer serve. And that's what I want to cover in this video, and this is going to lead really gorgeously into next week. We're going to have our free Soul Wealth Challenge, which is so exciting because I'm going to be taking you on a little journey to do your own soul detox, and it's very gentle. It's not what you would imagine as a typical detox. It's nothing like that. It's very gentle, it's very nurturing, and it's more of a teaching to enable you to start building solid foundations in your own plan, your own soul freedom plan, and creating this gorgeous nurturing space where you can really start to really think about, like, what do I want? How do I want my life to look? How do I want to feel? And this is the journey to soul wealth. And I'll talk a little bit about that today, but really we are all soul wealth. We all have soul wealth within. And when we talk about wealth, people immediately jump to money. Money is a tool and it's part of it, and we need money to be able to live, to survive, to have freedom and all the goodness that money can bring. But that is just a part of it. Real wealth, real soul wealth it's a feeling, it's an internal feeling, and we have the most amazing opportunity, us, on our journeys of waking up, consciously living. We get to really tap into soul wealth, building that resilience, and nothing can take that from us. Because what alcohol, sugar freedom, whatever the thing is that you're working on, what that teaches us, the core message is, we get to choose what feels right for us. We get to uncover what's important to us, and we get to align and live our life according to those values. And that's where I love the kind of organization and the planning that I do with myself and with clients, because we get to really make sure that these things that are really important to you, you're nurturing them. Just like baby seeds, baby seedlings, you're nurturing them, they're growing, you're planting the roots, you're cementing the roots. And that is just fueling your growth so that you can have your vibrant, incredible wellness tree, which is within. We all have our own inner wellness tree, and we can create that juicy fruit and just live a life of freedom and expansion. And this is soul wealth. However, soul wealth starts with a soul detox. We need to detox. And so before I talk about that, let me just remind you, in case you haven't heard, next week we're doing our free Soul Wealth Challenge right here in the group. I'm going to be live on Monday the 16th and Tuesday the 17th, 4 p.m. UK. Check your time zones, pop it on your calendar, come in the group, join me live. It's all on replay, so no matter if you can't come live, but we're going to be doing a 15-day soul wealth challenge. It's going to be a gorgeous soul detox. I'm going to be taking you through the wellness tree. We're going to be journeying through our trees. Each of us, all of us, working on in a very simple way that fits around your lifestyle. So if you can just allow like 10 minutes minimum per day just to really tune into this, an hour would be amazing. But just to kind of sit with a notebook, a journal, and just prepare to really get aware and see, okay, what does feel heavy, what does need to go. So we're going to be doing a 15-day challenge together. Challenge really isn't the right word for this. It's a very nurturing challenge. And so join me next week. I'll be live here in the group starting Monday. I'll be popping reminders in. Also, there's accountability if you want it. I'm opening up my messenger completely free. If you want to hold yourself accountable, then pop me a message and just check in with me every day. And if you want free resources, I've got things that can support you as well. So, signs that you might be needing a soul detox. Bearing in mind we are all on different places in our journey. So this is for you, whether you are currently wanting to let go of alcohol or sugar, whatever the thing is, you're really kind of aware that you need to make some changes, you don't feel good, and you're watching this for a reason, because your soul is saying yes, I want that. So I'm going to use myself as an example for this. Now, I have just celebrated 8 years on my alcohol freedom journey, and I've always talked about this before. I've had a few drinking experiments. I haven't actually had any alcohol in the last 4 years, and that was when I lost my dad really suddenly. And before that, I was having a few experiments. So it hasn't been 100% perfect, but those experiments have just really taught me how much I just love living alcohol free. Now I'm on my sugar freedom journey, but it's all about creating a plan that feels good to you. And so this is where I want us to be very inclusive and kind of supportive of one another, because it's such a personal journey. So I decided finally, September 2016, that's it, I need to stop drinking. My new husband had words with me, serious words, and it's like, right, I need to really sort this out. And to be really honest, I've shared this before, I didn't want to stop drinking. I really didn't, because wine was fun to me. Well, for the first couple of drinks it felt fun, and then it didn't. And what happened was, it was taking way more from me than it was giving. It felt fun for, a little while, and I'd always look forward to Friday nights and the weekends or the evenings, having my wine time. And it was letting my hair down, de-stressing. But actually, what I realised was I was just buying into numbing out, distracting, because it wasn't just wine, it was also scrolling, it was spending too much money, it was eating a ton of sugar and just really crappy stuff. And when I decided finally to stop drinking, I really, really noticed like how horrible and just yuck I felt. And I realised I'd been living in such a way since I was a child at 5 years old, starting to really eat as much sugar as I could. I used to steal it from the kitchen, biscuits and cakes and things like that, to comfort and to soothe. And I was doing the same thing with drinking. It was grey area drinking, and I could stop for a while, but I was always looking for something to numb out and squash. And so when I stopped drinking finally, I was thinking about all of the years of like, wow, this is such an ingrained pattern within me to just reach out without even thinking, to go around the supermarket and like, oh, let's just buy some wine. And while I'm buying wine, I might as well buy Haribo and Flapjacks and Doritos and family sized. It was all family sized because I wanted to make sure I had enough. I didn't want to run out. And this was my patterning for so long. And I realised when I stopped drinking, I was just so inflamed, bloated. I felt heavy. I felt exhausted, absolutely exhausted. I'd wake up in the morning knowing I hadn't slept well, just feeling really guilty and fed up and just yuck. And I had lots of different symptoms as well. I had skin issues, I had skin rashes which would suddenly appear. I had things like hay fever. I still do have hay fever, but it's not as bad. I had really heavy, painful periods. I was super anxious, loads of anxiety, very grumpy moods, like I was constantly on edge, like ready to bite. And I also felt, to be honest, pissed off because I didn't want to be this version of me. I wanted to have inner peace, and I didn't know how to get that. But I also wanted wine, and I didn't know how to live without it. And I also wanted to kind of numb out and forget things. And the idea of sitting with presence and to be still, and, you know, it felt like, well, where's the fun in life? Where's the fun? But I had to get really honest with myself. If I really wanted to feel better, to have more energy, to just like have this heavy weight of all of this consuming, if I wanted it to go, I needed to drastically change my lifestyle. I had to. I fought with it for a long time, and it wasn't something that I just suddenly decided and that's okay. You know, I was swinging backwards and forwards between almost being two people, and that in itself was exhausting as well. So I'm just trying to remember exactly what happened, because I think I remember when I stopped drinking, I'd made the decision, right, things need to change, but I wasn't sure how. And this was even before the wellness tree had come to me. I just knew, I didn't know the new identity, the next level me, nothing. I didn't know that. But I thought, right, I am going to see if I can work and focus on self-care, because that's something that I never had done before. And I thought, well, if I want to sleep better, have more energy, feel better, etc., I've got to work on like looking after myself. And I've always been really interested in, believe it or not, underneath all of the numbing out and the squashing, I've always been interested in natural things. I love nature, always love nature, love plants, love trees, love animals, love everything. And I thought, I just want to, I remember I had really bad hay fever as well, and there was the sleeping thing, there was PMS, there was all kinds of things, skin, like loads of stuff. And somehow, I don't know how, but I went to go and see a homeopath that was actually in my village. I was so lucky to sort of be able to see her. And she was asking me all of these questions, and I remember opening up to her about the fact that I'd just recently stopped drinking. And I remember now, I had also gone to the doctors, I'd had some blood tests done. I wanted to check that I was kind of okay, and luckily everything was fine. And I thought, okay, well, that's good. Now I really want to conserve that. Went to go see the homeopath, and she asked me all these questions, and had some assessment done. And she said to me, I saw a nutritionist as well. And they both said, you have got really high levels of toxicity in your body. And I was like, well, I'm not surprised. But then I thought, this is awful and I don't want this. And, you know, it was a case of, okay, you need to kind of make some changes now. And again, I could really see how this was a big overall lifestyle change. But I didn't want to overwhelm myself, because it can be very overwhelming. And I was just going to make the commitment to do it in bits, baby step style, every day. And they were telling me, you know, you need to eliminate toxins from your day. So think about what you're consuming. Think about cleaning products. Think about what you're putting on your body and all of this stuff. And I didn't really know any of this. I didn't know how many chemicals and things are in our environment. And so anyway, for the last 7 or 8 years, I've been on this journey. It's not 100% clean. No, of course not. But it's got to a place now in all of my life areas where I have a plan that feels really good to me. And sometimes I waver off in certain areas. It's not perfect, but I can always feel when I've done it. So anyway, I decided back then, okay, I'm going to do a big cleanup. This is the big cleanup. This is my lifestyle change. And to do that, I thought, oh my gosh, I'm going to have to learn how to think in a completely different way, how to be in a completely different way. And that's when the wellness tree really started to sort of take seed and take root with me, because then I thought, right, I need to learn to think differently. I then discovered Joe Dispenza's work. And then I thought, right, I need to really get behind the feelings of the new identity. What do I want to create? And I started to work with my feelings and how do I want to feel. And so this big cleanup was in effect my soul detox. And what I've discovered, a soul detox is something that we want to maintain. It's a lifestyle, it's a way of living, and it's all completely personal to us. It's a slow process. There is no rush. It's slow. We don't want to overwhelm the nervous system. But what it is, it's letting go of things. It's letting go of things in all of our different life areas. I'm actually going to be going through this next week in our Soul Wealth Challenge, so I'm very, very excited. For me, it started with, so I remember when I first stopped drinking, my anxiety really shot up. So I've always had, ever since a child, just really high anxiety, and panic attacks used to be a real thing for me. I would just pass out because I was so, my nervous system was so completely overwhelmed that actually anything sometimes was just too much, and I would just get myself in such a panic and I would just pass out, and that was a normal thing. So when I stopped drinking, because drinking I thought used to help me with that, but actually it was making it a whole heap worse, I had to really learn mindfulness and just breathing and just really kind of coaching myself through those things. And the more that I practiced doing that, and the more I was really turning off external things and just, you know, starting to build and cultivate that inner peace, the easier things became. Some of you might remember when I had my original Facebook group, Sober Sisters, right at the beginning, I think 2016 I started it because I really wanted to kind of find my tribe, do it with other people. This was way before I was coaching. I was literally just starting out, and started a Facebook group, which I really wanted to do. But then I thought, oh my God, there's all these people in the group, and like, oh, this is scary. And this, you know, it was just too much, and I deleted the group, which is such a shame. And I'm so sorry if you were one of those people, because then I didn't restart the group until a couple of years later, 2018, which is this group. and I'd got, more confidence then. But at that time, I think my phone and technology was one of the first areas that I really started my kind of soul detox with. And I turned off all notifications, and I just turned off external things, and I checked things when I wanted to check things. And this was really the first step of taking my power back, taking some energy back. Anyway, that's just one area, but that's how it started with me. So think about how generally in life you're feeling right now. So are you feeling tired, exhausted, overwhelmed? You've got an endless list of things to do. You're wearing many hats. Perhaps you're looking after your family, loved ones, maybe elderly parents, sick loved ones. Perhaps you're running a business. All the things. Maybe you're struggling with a health condition, whatever it is, and you're just doing your best to cope with life. And there's so much going on in the world, isn't there? And you just want to feel lighter. You want to be able to create space to just breathe. This is what we're going to be doing next week. This is the point of the Soul Wealth Challenge, is for us to just create some space. Because that's something that we're all craving so much right now. And life is encouraging us to live faster, to have things now immediately, to numb out, to distract, to follow this person, to follow that person, to go down that rabbit hole. All of the things that we want, and we go down these rabbit holes, and then we end up with more stuff, more information, more podcasts, more workshops, more this, more that. And it gets so overwhelming. All of this is energy. It's all stuff we're taking in, we're parking it somewhere, and we have this huge pile of stuff. And it's not just online. We have it in our homes as well. Like cupboards that we think, I must sort that cupboard out, I'll shove it in that cupboard, I'll deal with it another day, must do that. Paperwork, bills to pay, stuff that needs printing, an in tray. I'm looking at my in tray, it's getting big. So it's like stuff, clutter. Books, you should see my books. I'm really looking forward to this detox. I need to transfer my books. Do you know what? I have got a pile next to my bed of books that I want to read, and there must be about 20 books in there. I'm not going to read 20 books. So I'm going to take everything down, sort out my bookcase, and just choose one book. One book. And when, it's not just in our home. So there's our home. There's all kinds of things. It starts within, right? It starts mentally. Actually, have you ever noticed how you have a declutter in your home? You declutter, you clean the space, and how good you feel after you've done it. Because it's energy and it affects us, right? Our living area is an extension of ourselves. And when we let go, when we release, and habits as well, I'm thinking of, what things can we release that no longer serve? We do create this gorgeous space. So if you're feeling tired, exhausted, heavy, frustrated, maybe angry that you're not doing the things that you want to be doing, there doesn't seem to be any time left for you, and we can start feeling really resentful. So we have this heaviness. And now think, well, how would I love things to be different? If I had more time, I could maybe have a really nice morning ritual, or I could be more consistent with my morning ritual or my evening ritual. I could get my sleep habits in place. I could work on like feeding myself really good nutritional things. Well, that means I need to meal prep. I need to actually take the time to make a conscious shopping list. So imagine if the whole of your life areas, everything, your habits, your meetings, your business things, your home life, your relationships, your family time, your time. Imagine if everything was taken care of. And it can be, and this is something I'm setting up, I've been working on for ages in my own life, is creating a kind of home business organisational thing. I'm doing something myself and working on it at the moment. And everything is taken care of. Everything has its own space on your calendar. You've got reminders set. Everything is automated, even down to like putting the bins out on a Thursday. The number of times I forget that, and now it's automated. I don't have to worry. Imagine that. So like we have to become really good CEOs of our life. No one is going to do this for us, and it can take a while to set this up. But this starts with knowing what needs to go. Knowing what thinking needs to go, knowing what places, what people, what things just don't feel good anymore, so that we create this space to just get some clarity, space to know and understand what we want to bring in instead. And what we're bringing in are the exact things that are really, really important to you. They are your values. These are the things that you are going to live by from now on. We'll talk about that next week. Now, the areas that we're going to focus on next week in our free challenge, so that we can start to do this soul detox, baby step style, things like nutrition, as in food and what we're kind of taking in. I'm not going to go into really deep specific nutrition things, but it's following a eating plan that feels good to you, right? It's emotions, it's letting go of thought forms, of things that just don't feel good anymore. It's relationships, it's sleep, it's your business, things in your business, and like, where am I headed? What's that bigger vision? It's finances, your relationship with money. I had such money traumas, honestly, just like so many people. And I've been working over the years on money mindset and wealth consciousness, and just changing my relationship with money, having a better relationship, and forcing myself to look at numbers, to look at bills, to look at savings, to look at debts, to start really paying things off, saving, budgeting, taking care, like giving money some love and working with it. And you know, that is a whole other subject. But when we start taking care of ourselves, things externally they start reflecting back to us the changes we're making. So new opportunities come. And when we also have a relationship with spirituality, however that looks for you, whether you believe in God, universe, divine source energy, nature, love, your own personal power, whatever that is for you, we want to cultivate this spiritual practice and know that soul wealth is your own personal power. It's your own personal power. Now, when you have got really clear on the things that you want to release in your life, you've created this space to really kind of plan this and think about it and get some insights into like, okay, what do I want to create? You start really tapping into soul wealth and start living in this way, and you start setting yourself new standards. This is what I expect from myself. This is what we're doing now. And you'll have like the wine witch or the monkey mind, or something will come in and try and hijack you. And we have to be in our kind of our queen archetype, and it's like, well, no, I don't do that anymore. We don't do that. And this takes self-discipline, but it's knowing that freedom is found through discipline. It's also about bringing in the fun, relaxing into our journey, and bringing some flexibility and some play into that. Knowing what true fun is, rather than, well, I used to think it was sitting there with a bottle of wine, and that really felt true for me. This is fun. Yes, it was fun for a little while, and then it wasn't fun. True fun, you will know the difference because it feels so fulfilling. And it's truth, it's aligned, it's a soul desire, it's a soul need. And this is what I love to help people with. And it's also about setting up your home and your environment to support you as you grow. Does your home, does your environment, do the people in your world align with where you're headed? Okay, so this is just a taste. I know it's a lot, but it is just a taste of the incredible changes that we can create. I always say this, you know, alcohol or sugar freedom, or whatever the thing is that's the issue, it starts with a decision like, right, I'm going to let that go. Whether you're doing it for a while to kind of get some, you know, some clarity around that, whether you're taking a break, whether you have decided to do a year alcohol free, or whether you're, no, I want alcohol gone, I'm ready for a complete alcohol free, sugar free lifestyle, sugar freedom, whatever it is for you. That is just the starting point, because what it actually is about is everything else underneath. It's how to live life in a more conscious, intentional way. How to live in soul wealth. And soul wealth is about the things that we already have. Things we can be grateful for, the people in our lives, our loved ones. Being here in this life, this opportunity to live. It's about nature. I mean, just look at nature and how abundant nature is. How we've so much to be grateful for. If we have food in the fridge, that is soul wealth. If we have friends that care about us, that is soul wealth. If we can just do something kind for ourselves or for someone else, if we can have a relationship with building resilience and sitting with, this is big, sitting with discomfort, sitting with cravings, sitting with something that feels so huge and like it's just going to suck the life force out of you, which it won't. It's like, you can do it. It's a mindset thing. By the way, I actually have something, if you want some help with cravings, I have a really gorgeous resource for you. Just let me know, send me a private message and I'll send it to you. It's a really, really nice audio that just takes you through the cravings. Nothing is gonna happen, nothing bad, we're not gonna be eaten by a tiger. It's literally a body response. It's literally, oh my God, this just doesn't feel safe. It is safe. It's fine, it's the way through, but our body doesn't know that. So logically, we know about all these changes we want to make. We have to teach our body in a different way. And so we want to get all parts of ourselves. This is why it's really holistic. This is why the wellness tree is the perfect guide. It's my methodology I use for my coaching. I've actually put a free introductory guide in guide 1 for you if you want to learn about the tree more and how it can support you on your journey. It's a free video series around 2 hours long, And I've had messages from people, you know, how much it's helping them literally, and they come back and they watch more and they learn new things, they hear things they didn't before. And that is, you know, another useful resource for you. So it all starts with awareness and just remembering that this is a journey. There's no rush. It's an uncovering. It's learning who we truly are. It's about detoxing, releasing, letting go. Such power in that. And that enables us to really stand in soul wealth, really make conscious choices, aligned, soul-led, heart-led choices that allow us to be who the hell we came here to be. And that is so powerful, because we can do anything, we can be anything. And it all starts with just making that decision. Right, I'm no longer going to do that. I'm going to release that. And this is how we do things now. So join me next week, next Monday we start. Very, very excited. Any questions, pop them below or send me a private message, and I'd love to help. So see you soon. Take care.